In January, Connor and I drove up from Jackson to Bozeman to meet with Xavier, coming in from Bend to do a little Hyalite ice climbing and ski touring. Connor and I had an ice climb before, so we spent day one learning the ropes on some WI 2s, 3s, and 1-4. Hyalite Canyon is just south of Bozeman. It features the most concentrated natural ice routes in the lower 48, so it's a great place to get started. On day two, we plan to climb this WI3 Twin Falls and then skin to and ski Pinner Couloir. The day would involve about 3,700 feet of vert, so we figured a 9 a.m. start would do the trick. We drove south out of Bozeman, taking a Forest Service road through the canyon. Gets really icy. My truck actually 180'd after day one. Luckily, no damage. Step one, skin about 2 miles and 1,400 vert to the base of Twin Falls. Step two, climb Twin Falls at WI3. Step three, ditch the climbing gear and skin up to Pinner Couloir. Step four, quick Bootpack. Step five, some steep and narrow turns down Pinner and then ski back to the top of Twin Falls. Step six, Rappel. And then finally, ski/bushwhack back to the trailhead. We reached the Hyalite Creek trailhead a bit before 9:30 and then hit the trail by about 9:45. It's a pretty well-traveled trail south between all the ice climbers, bikers, and skiers. Switchbacks do get a little bit icy. Xavier's skins weren't holding, so we started boot packing. Once we got a little bit higher and the switchbacks got steeper, Connor and I followed suit. Skins just weren't holding up. By 11 a.m., we reached Twin Falls and transitioned for the ice climb, putting on crampons, taking out tools, and attaching our skis and poles to our backpacks. Xavier planned to lead, being the most experienced ice climber. Connor and I had just learned the day before, and then Connor and I would simul-climb as he belayed us from the top. I followed Xavier's route, removing the ice screws as I went. Connor took a route a little bit to my left, which was a bit steeper, and followed the fall line. We were pretty warm on the skin approach, but in the shadow of these north-facing cliffs, the ice climb itself was pretty cold. We had to stop periodically to shake out our hands. By 12:30, I topped out, and Connor was just a few minutes behind me. It was mine, Connor's first time climbing with skis in her back, so it took a little care to make sure we didn't hit him with tool back swings.
How was the middle?
It was awesome, dude.
Yeah, it looked real.
We ditched all the climbing gear we wouldn't need and started skinning southwest toward Pinner Couloir. When we got toward the southwest corner of the bowl, we had first thought this was Pinner, and it was a bit sharky, so we decided to skip it and instead maybe try and ski some of the trees on the ridgeline in the right-hand side of the shot. But as we started going up the ridgeline, we looked to our left, and lo and behold, Pinner. We dug a quick snow pit, finding just a shallow wind slab, nothing we'd be too concerned about inside the sheltered couloir. The snow was pretty settled within the couloir, so the boot pack was quick, only 30 minutes or so. I was afraid we were going to have to post haul, but it didn't turn out to be the case. From the notch, we scrambled up to a nearby summit to Looker's left, and then back down to start skiing.
Yeah, if you can get your own pole, like I...
Okay, I got it. That's how we're doing this thing.
I was just going to straight line it. Kidding. I hop turned and side slipped my way down, taking this video in the middle of the couloir. We found a few fresh inches of powder from storms the past couple of days, skiing through the bowl, and then through some trees just above Twin Falls. We grabbed our climbing gear from the gear tree and started setting up for rappel. 2 60-meter ropes did the trick. There's a pretty well-maintained anchor at the top since it's a popular climbing route. Yeah. Xavier and Connor both opted to skip crampons. Watching them each slip in the same spot, I decided to put mine on.
It's another solid day.
Aside from these pillows, the switchbacks didn't make for the best skiing, so I navigated a bit to the right to find some untracked snow. Then I spent about 30 minutes hopping logs and bushwhacking. Recommendation, just stick with switchbacks. We put on headlamps and skated the last mile back to the trailhead, about 30 minutes after dark.